Hi, everybody.
Hello, courtiers. Can you tell there's a theme in the way that I'm speaking right now, Rachel? I'm feeling a little unhinged. Or at least that's how my reading has been going as so far as of yeah.
She's been sharing some things, just not spoilers, but some things with the books that she's been reading, and I've just been like, which book is that? I need to go get
it. So for those of you lovely folks out there who have been crawling under a hole, lived in a hole, or have not paid any attention to what's been going on Instagram and everything, recently the drop of the sequel to the famous Butcher and Blackbird Ruinous Love trilogy came out on June 4th, which was called Leather and Lark. And y'all, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, y'all got right now to go ahead and back your little selves on out and come into the next episode, because this episode is going to be full of spoilers. I'm warning you now. Y'all still here? Alright. Y'all set yourselves up. That's all I'm saying. So, if any of y'all are familiar, the first book in the series is Butcher and Blackbird by Britain Weaver. It is a dark romantic comedy series about two serial killers who go off serial killers. They usually meet up once a year in August and have a showdown of sorts, kind of competition between them, to see who can get to the killer first and whatnot. Well, this book that I'm currently reading is the sequel to it. And boy, ladies and gents, he's and she's, we started off with the firecracking bang in the first chapter.
We should mention that this is a very spicy book.
They are spicy books. They are indeed. Like I said, these books trigger warnings. Should I go through and read the trigger warnings for book 2 just for the sake of them understanding? Because I feel like we need to go into this.
Be the responsible thing for us to do. So
yes,
I'm good with that.
Okay. So our trigger warnings are as follow. Let me bookmark my page first.
I've got the first book down here. I should have pulled the first one so I could read the things for the first one, but
so why don't you go ahead and read the trigger warning for book 1 while I'm trying to get it pulled up for book 2.
Well, I gotta find book 1 first. Where are you? I'm here somewhere. There. Not that one. I think those are all Colleen Hoover. Not that one. I'm going to fall out of my chair. Are you one of them? No. Okay. That means they are up here. Gotta be up here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Yep. There she is. I just took all that stuff down for no reason. Out of here, lady. My books love to argue with me. They're just like, nah, we don't want to come out. We don't want to play.
Okay. Nah, that's the voices, because you are the Harley Quinn of us, two of us.
This is true. I hear the voices, and the voices talk to me, and sometimes we don't get along. Okay, so book 1, which looks like this. Love the cover art, by the way. I've seen the cover for the one JL's talking about, and it's like a teal green, isn't it?
It's like a teal color, yeah, and it's got larks, and it's got leather jackets, and it's got a knife of some kind on there.
This looks like crows or blackbirds, of course. Bones, skulls, a couple of hatchets, a chainsaw.
Oh yeah, they're mm-hmm.
Oh, so there's a chainsaw. Okay, interesting.
Uh-huh.
All right, so this is the trigger warnings for book 1. As much as Butcher and blah 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 blah. See, I can't talk. Talking is hard. I've had too much Red Bull. As much as Butcher and Blackbird is a dark romantic comedy and will hopefully make you laugh through the madness, it's still dark. Please read responsibly. If you have questions about this list, please don't hesitate to contact me at, you'll see it in the book, or one of my favorite social media platforms, most active on Instagram and TikTok. So, the trigger warnings are as such: eyeballs and eye sockets, amateur surgery, skin ornaments, chainsaws, axes, knives, scalpels, a lot of sharp objects. We're just wrapping up right there. Accidental cannibalism. Not so accidental cannibalism. Questionable use of a mummified corpse. Lobotomized manservant. Ill-advised use of kitchen implements. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not really. Detailed sex scenes, which include but are not limited to. Oh, God. I don't blush at things, but Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, it gets worse with mine when I read mine.
Oh God. Okay. I'm professional, damn it. Cock warming, rough sex, praise kink, anal, adult toys, choking, spitting, dom and sub interactions, genital piercing. And then references to parental neglect and child abuse, parental loss, not depicted, references to child sexual assault, not in detail. It's a book about serial killers, so there are some generally messed up murder and chaos. The lead into the book is, for those of you who read the trigger warnings and said accidental cannibalism, count me in. This one's for you. So that's book 1.
So, here's your content warning for book 2. As follows, as she said earlier, we'll just skip that nice little intro tidbit because it's basically about the same. Eyeballs, but not eye sockets, so you're welcome. Teeth and tooth byproducts. I might have ruined pizza and beer, also smoothies, still not sorry. Snow globes. Auto cannibalism? Welcome to a debate you never thought you'd have. Numerous weapons and sharp objects, including darts, scissors, guns, saws, knives, grinders, an edger, and a little implement called an enucleation spoon. Severed fingers. You might have new thoughts about crafting with epoxy resin. Vehicular collisions, drowning in various forms, terminal illness of a loved one, detailed sex scenes which include but are not limited to adult toys, choking, rough sex, mild degradation, sexual acts in public, pegging, praise kink, reference to parental neglect and child abuse, not depicted, reference to child sexual assault, not depicted, religious references / trauma, explicit and colorful language, including a lot of blasphemy. Don't say I didn't warn you. Injured dog, cause of injury not depicted, and he's okay, I promise. There's a lot of death. It's a book about a contract killer and a serial killer falling in love, so I feel like that's probably a given. For those of you who came here after the Butcher and Blackbird ice cream and read the L&L triggers and thought she's not really serious about pizza, right? This one's for you.
Oh wow. This woman is just like 100% just like bet.
Yes, she is the queen of hold my beer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about holding it, ruining it, definitely, probably.
No, oh, believe me. Believe me. I will not look at the idea of pizza, beer, and smoothies the same way ever again.
This might actually help some of us go on diets, though.
It might. But, I mean, at the same time, I was at work today and I was like, I really want a pizza, even after reading that thing.
You're just like, it can't be that bad. We're just gonna try it. We're just gonna try it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, still didn't do it, but, I mean.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. If Hannibal Lecter was making the pizza, I wouldn't fucking question it at all. Because, like, in the TV series, the food that was made was fucking gorgeous, and it looked like it was really good. I know it's human, but still, I wouldn't like if Mads Mikkelsen wants to feed me something like that. That's fine. I won't think about it.
What I really like about these books is it comes included with playlists that you can pull up through Apple Music or Spotify as well and listen to them along with the chapters. So, like, there's songs that tie in with each chapter along with it as well. Plus, in this one, she actually worked with a TikToker on a song specifically for book 2, and it actually is featured not only in the book as like a song that Lark writes, but it's in the playlist as well. So that was pretty neat when doing all the promo and everything for it. So, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and talk about the very first line, because I'm tabbing this book.
Wow.
Yes. This is called The Consequences of Your Actions, sweetie. I say as I unravel the fuse to the fireworks strapped between Andrew's thighs.
There's one of two things is going to happen. Either his cigar is about to be lit, or he's about to experience a deep form of penetration with minor to major burns.
Lark, our main character in this one, is the best friend of Sloane from Butcher and Blackbird. She's very much the bright, bubbly blonde. You wouldn't think her to be the type to go and do anything maniacal and crazy. Oh no! Oh no! You may think she's all glitter, sparkles, and sunshine, and unless you've really read the book and you know what else is going on there, you already know all the shit she went through. No. She currently has her now ex-boyfriend who cheated on her, tied up in the middle of the forest with fireworks tied between his legs, and is getting ready to prepare to set him off in a blaze of wild glory of fireworks.
I am in total agreement with this character. If you cheat on me, I should be able to drag you to the middle of the forest and strap fireworks to your crotch.
But see, that's what I love so far about Lark and her character is that you wouldn't think when you first met her that she would be this maniacally unhinged.
It's always the quiet ones.
She's not, but that's the funny thing. She's not the quiet one.
The quiet ones can make noise too.
Oh, I know. I'm not disagreeing with this. All I'm saying is don't let the sweet ones fool you.
Especially if they have a Bank of America card and access to fireworks.
Especially when they have families that have ties to cleanup crews.
That would be handy. Not gonna lie.
Yes. So
I see a lot of people who would be in trouble if I had access to a cleanup crew.
Yeah. So the first chapter is basically her going and setting her now ex-boyfriend up in a blaze of glory, which then goes into chapter 2 of her going and drowning a pedophile in his car in the middle of a lake.
I like that. I co-sign
And
that.
it's Halloween night, and dressed as Harley Quinn.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I like Lark Montague a whole lot with this one. So she calls in for a favor from her stepdaddy, who is part of the Kovaci family.
And that's
There's
a
going to
name.
be probably some more references to that later. I haven't quite gotten that far. I'm still in the middle of the book. I'm on chapter 9, I think. Yeah,
You're
I'm in
reading
the
this on
middle of.
Kindle, right? Or are you reading the physical copy?
I am reading it on Kindle. I am tabbing and notating it in the actual physical book, and I'm also listening to the audiobook because I had to.
What? Why do you have to be an overachiever? It makes me look bad.
Because I've been waiting for this book for so long.
She
And
needs
the
the full
audio,
the full engulfing experience.
yes.
I don't blame you. There's a few books I'd like that for.
Yes. Anyway, chapter 2. She goes and makes the call to dear old stepdaddy, and he puts in a contract for this company to come out and do a cleanup. Well, this guy shows up, and he's in a ski mask, dark clothing, and he's looking her over, checking for any, whatnots, bruising. She's got a head wound and everything. They said that over the phone she was fine, but she's got a head wound. So he's already pissed because they told him she was fine. She's not fine because she's bleeding out of her head. And so he's all gruff and growly, kind of grouchy sounding. He's barely giving like 2-syllable words, like just like assessing her, like nauseous, concussed, and whatnot. And then he growled at her, and she kind of breaks out into a little bit of a laugh and decides to give him the nickname of Budget Batman.
JL mentioned Budget Batman earlier today, and I was just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Budget Batman? Are we talking about the Lego movie? Because
No.
Or Batfleck?
No. And then so he decides to call her Blunder Barbie.
Oh God. Blunder Barbie. Why Blunder Barbie? Explain
Because
that.
she looks like a freaking mess.
I mean, but does she look like Barbie, or is she more a Skipper?
No, she's dressed like Harley Quinn with a face full of makeup, and she's all bloodied and scraped up and everything like that.
Okay, you have to be specific about Harley. Is it the Suicide Game?
Margot Robbie.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it classic Harley, or is it Tara Strong Harley, or is it?
It's I think if I remember correctly, it was kind of more along the lines of the Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn. But yes, he calls her Blunder Barbie, and part of what he has to do is he has to get her out of there inconspicuously, which means having to go and put her in the trunk of his car. She's not a fan of that. She begs and pleads for him not to do it.
I could understand.
And he still puts her in there. So what does she do? She escapes. And that causes the company he works for to lose a very valuable contract.
Ruh-roh.
So he really fucked them up. And then we come to find out, Budget Backman is actually the older brother of the Boston Butcher in Butcher and Blackbird. You meet him in Butcher and Blackbird, Lachlan Kane.
I love the last name Kane. I don't know why. It's like Michael Kane.
Yes. And well, let's just say Lachlan's a bit of a hard ass. And when it goes into his chapter, which takes place about a year after the incident, he's in the middle of doing a contract with somebody. You alright?
Stella was scratching at the door.
Ah. So, time jumped to about a year. And Lachlan's in the middle of doing a job for the company he works for. The guy has had all of his teeth pried out of his mouth with pliers, bloody gums, the whole shebang.
Mm-mm. I can't do that. Like it. I'm okay. This is weird. I'm okay with fingernails, but teeth. Anything to do with teeth.
Trigger warning for the teeth byproduct.
Oh God.
And then a little bit later, there's a knock at the door. Pizza delivery. So his boss is going on talking with him about, things would be a lot different if you hadn't fucked up that one contract and blah, blah, blah. And he's been throwing darts at the guy that they're currently torturing. So the guy's got a dart going out of his bottom lip and his cheek. And
Oh God.
yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy. And then decides that he's going to give this poor fella his last meal. So he brings out a blender, throws in a slice of pizza, pours in half a can of beer, and his teeth for extra protein. Blends it up, takes a funnel, tells Lachlan to hold him down, puts the funnel in his mouth, and pours the processed everything down the guy's throat.
Well, I mean, that could have gone much worse. It really could have. It could have gone much worse. It could have went in the south end instead of the north.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And it was a meat lover's pizza.
Oh God. You have no idea how many of those fucking things I've made in my life. To any of you who ever eat at Pizza Hut, if your stomach gets tore up, consider this a PSA. Either your dough is old and out of date, so that made you sick, or the sauce is old and out of date, and it made you sick. So be aware. Be aware. Because just don't do it. Pizza's not worth it. Trust me. It's just not worth it. It's gross.
So once Lachlan finishes that job, he goes and meets up with his brother and his fiance and meets, his soon-to-be fiance at the time, which is our lovely Butcher and Blackbird. That's the Butcher and Blackbird restaurant, where he meets Miss Meadowlark Montague. They hit it off nicely, and everything's going swell. They're going to have a little moment to themselves, not really necessarily meaning to. And so then they end up going and start having a little make out fun time. And then he lets out a growl. And recognition hits, and shit hits the fan. Budget Batman. Blunder Barbie.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Things got a little bit tense.
Yes, very tense. Yeah, let's just say, yeah, tense. Very, very, very tense. And, so far, where I'm at now, Butcher and Blackbird have now had their surprise elopement and are now Mr. and Mrs. Butcher and Blackbird.
Sounds so weird.
And now, to protect Blackbird and Butcher, Sloane has decided, not Sloane, Lark has decided she has to do something to protect her best friend and her best friend's husband. Because they're being seen as a liability by her family with the fact that there's some issues going down where people that are connected to her family are being killed one by one. And the family thinks that Lachlan's got something to do with it. So, with taking out Lachlan, that's going to leave loose ends with his other two brothers, Theon and Rowan. Which means, with his connection, with Rowan being connected to Sloane, Butcher and Blackbird may be taken out.
Oh no.
So, along with some help from her great Aunt Ethel, who is the kind of like matriarch of the family.
Of course, their name was Ethel. Of course.
Hey, Ethel is a badass. Ethel is a badass.
It's if I'm not mistaken, it was the name of Sabrina the teenage Sabrina the original black and white TV series. It was the name of her mother, wasn't it?
Are you talking about Samantha from Bewitched?
Yeah, wasn't that the name?
I don't remember.
Mother? I think I remember.
I don't remember.
No, it was the neighbor. It was the neighbor. The neighbor on that show.
Maybe. I think. I don't remember. It's been a while. So now Lark and Lachlan have come to an agreement. They got married.
Budget Batman married Blunder Barbie.
Yep. So that Blunder Barbie could make sure that Butcher and Blackbird were safe because her family won't do anything about breaking vows and keeping her happy.
Nice.
However,
There's
before...
always a loophole.
Huh?
I said there's always a loophole.
Before the said wedding even happened, she had another little unhinged moment. She had a victim in a glass coffin with epoxy resin being poured into the glass coffin that she was doing as a DIY craft as her new coffee table for her apartment.
Okay. All I'm going to say is I've seen some weird ass shit being done with epoxy. Like, I think the strangest thing I've seen was where somebody had their family pet taxidermied, and then they put the dog, which was a small dog, in a complete and total, like, fucking clear block of epoxy as a coffee table.
Yeah.
I was just like, nope. No.
Yeah, those are just all the unhinged moments that I've hit so far in the book. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it. I'm looking forward to finishing it. Because then once I get it finished, everything will be smooth sailing from there. And then I am in the torturous wait of book 3. Because I have no idea when the next release is going to be.
Dang it. Well, at least you're further along than I am. As Jo well knows, I've had a little bit of trouble finding a book to read. So I initially started out reading Kingdom
Kingdom
of
of
the
the
Wicked.
Wicked.
Yeah. And then from Kingdom of the Wicked, I moved to Powerless. Yeah, Powerless. And I started reading Powerless. And I'm not I'm in a situation where like I'll read the first 5 chapters of something, and after that point, like it just kind of meh. Like it just drops off. So, like I've only read the first 5 chapters of Powerless. So, like I've met Kit, which is how I'm the dude's name is Kett. So I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, is Kit. And then you've got Kai. Kai is everything I want. Like everything I want in a character. Like smooth, witty, sarcastic, bit of an asshole, athletic, good with his hands, good with knives, knows how to talk. Just just 967 shades of But the girl Peyton, oh my good lord. Like by chapter 2, I was about to lose my fucking shit because this woman does nothing but bitch the entire fucking time about, well, I've got to be a fucking thief and I've got to fucking do this shit and I've got to, fucking plagues. And like the whole premise is like everybody has some form of power. Well, not everybody. Certain people were gifted powers by a mysterious plague that kind of spread throughout that city, and they locked everybody in there to contain the plague. So the people that didn't die, some of them ended up with powers, and then some of them that didn't die were just left alive and they had nothing. And if you have powers, you're considered one of the elites. So one of the elites is like some of the most powerful, magic wielders and things like that. You get to live in the lap of luxury. You're the highest ranking, people in the echelon of society. And like Peyton is an ordinary. She walks around and pretends to be a mundane, which is a psychic, which I don't know if that word was really looked up well before it was used, because I don't know if anybody understands the definition of mundane, but mundane basically means not special. And I don't know about you, but if I had psychic abilities, I'd say that'd be pretty special. Just saying.
Unless that's like the most common of abilities in that realm, then I guess it will be classified as mundane.
It could be, or maybe it's just like the least like flashy. Because Kai's power is that he can take on the power of any person that he's near. So like his brother Kit has the power to manipulate fire and water. So when you come upon both of these gentlemen, they're shirtless, fighting against each other, training, sweaty, and they're throwing like fireballs at each other using water shields to extinguish them. And then
so they have the power. They have the equal tributing power of steam.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, Kit can use those two powers independent of each other. I don't think he can combine them, but Kai, because he is like his gift is like he can anything that he is near, any person that he's near that has a gift, doesn't matter if it's the highest, like most glamorous power, or if it's the most ridiculous power, he can use it because he's next to them and he can access their power. There is a general.
That's scary.
Yeah. It's setting it up. So there's these things called the trials that kind of establishes your ranking within society and stuff like that in the elites. And
So that's where people were saying it gets that rip off of the Hunger Games from.
well, Kai has to go through it, and there's a general's daughter, and I cannot remember her fucking name to save my life because I was getting towards the point where I didn't care about it anymore. And she's just like the most heinous bitch you could possibly think like that existed. She's one of those women that's just built different, that she's just like, I'm a badass and I know I'm a badass and I can kick your ass, and if I can't kick your ass then my daddy will do it for me. Like that. That's that girl.
Ugh,
And
hate those people.
I'm just like, please, somebody off this character so fast. But like, she has a thing for Kai, and Kit is meant to be the future king of Ilia, is the name of the kingdom. And he's got blonde hair. He doesn't look anything like Kit. Kit has black hair, and kind of like he's sorry, just need a minute. Yeah. Kit is okay looking. Kai, on the other hand, that's what Mama likes. That's what Mama likes. Black hair, nice, like, oh my god, lick this man from one end to the other. But anyhow, moving on, focusing. I got to the point where Kai and Kit are being called before the king. Kai is meant to enter the trials to become the next enforcer, which is kind of like the step below the king. Kit is meant to become the next king. Kit and Kai are half brothers, not full brothers, which means the king has a bit of a problem keeping it in his pants.
So, like Francis and Bash from Rain.
Yeah. Sort of. Except Francis was a twat. I don't think Kit's a twat. I think he's oblivious. If just from what I've read about the character, I think he's very oblivious. Like, he's got his whole shit planned out for him. Like, he's meant to become king. So he's kind of like, I don't really have to worry about anything. I know where I'm fucking headed. The lap of fucking luxury. I just got to sit around, shake hands, accept taxes, and kiss babies. That's all I got to do. That's it. Meanwhile, Kai's like, I've got to run the entire fucking kingdom for you. Great. So with Kai having that power, it sets it up to where Peyton gets thrown into the trials because she gets caught, questioned about her ability. And it's a real kind of like, if you've seen The Mentalist, like it's that character is a combination of The Mentalist and Lie to Me. So she can read body language, she can read micro expressions, she's very perceptive. So she's almost like Sherlock Holmes that is a lie detector. And she uses that to kind of put on the guise of being a psychic. The little girl that she is friends with is, I think her name is pronounced Adana, or something like that. She's it's not a shifter, but she like teleports, and she can like teleport through people, through pretty much anything. And how Peyton ran into her was she literally ran into Peyton and shifted, like poofed through her. So then Peyton went to go find her. But it's odd. Her character is mentioned, her backstory is mentioned, but she's not really utilized within the first 2 or 3 chapters. Like, she's like, oh, I make dresses. I'm going to sit over here and sell my shit while you go do all of your thieving. In the description of the Imperials is what they're called. They're basically like the cops of this kingdom. They sound like fucking like medieval stormtroopers, if you want to be honest. Like, they're all dressed in white. They have masks that have like black eyes in them. So like, it's like a plague mask that's white with the black eyes, and then a black leather kind of uniform. So yeah, it's like, medieval stormtroopers. Apologies to this author if she ever sees this video. But it's just, I hit chapter 5, and by chapter 5, I did not care. Like, at all. I couldn't give a fuck. Peyton was getting on my nerves because she was just bitching the whole time. And if she wasn't bitching the whole time, she was talking about how fucking awesome she was because she's like the best thief. And it's just like,
What was me?
yeah. But as soon as like Kai's power was revealed, I was like, oh, so she gets thrown into the trials. He has the ability to take on anybody else's ability, but when he gets next to hers, he can't access hers. And she throws it at him like it's his problem, like there's something wrong with him, not her. So that's where like the twist is supposed to come from. It I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I mean, I'm going to come back to it at some point and read it and give it a real try. But like Kingdom of the Wicked, I made it to, I think it was like chapter 3 or 4. And it was past the preacher, the sister coming in and scaring Victoria coming in and scaring the shit out of the priest. Hi, Square.
What up, Square?
But like and that was another thing. Like I told JL I was this close to making a TikTok with that sound from Fleabag where she's like, I want to fuck a priest. Because the priest was the most entrancing thing in the first couple of chapters. I was just like, hell's
Oh, you're talking about Amelia's friend. Yeah, him. Yeah. She's oh, honey, you don't even know about him.
No, I don't know. But like the younger sister, Victoria, is so fucking frustrating.
No, they're twins.
They're twins. Oh, that's right. But and that's another thing. I had to go ask JL what this thing was that both of these women wear. It's a charm, but
Cornicellos.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue what that was. So I immediately.
The cornicello is very more commonly known in the Italian culture as like protection against the evil eye, protection against, like bad luck, whatnot. So, but in the storyline for it, pretty much is their grandmother each gave them one, a silver one and a gold one. Victoria had the gold one. Emilia had the silver one. They were never to join them together, but they never were supposed to take them off either.
And can you guess who broke those rules?
Well, at least one of them.
Yeah. It didn't really help the other one. So Emilia has this thing where she can see like auras around people.
Mm-hmm.
And like she uses that to kind of lead her, around people and give her impressions of people and things like that. And Granny does not know about this. They have not told
Nona.
her. Yeah.
Love Nona. Nona's a badass.
Nona does not take any shit. Like one was racing through an incantation and then the other one was fumbling over words and she was just like, slow down. It was just like, holy shit. But like
fucking love Nona.
It's not a bad story, and I fully intend on coming back to it. I own all of the books, but it wasn't able to keep me. Like it just wasn't able to get me. And as I told JL, I think the problem is I have a problem with slow burns. Like I am that kind of girl that like I need something to keep me entertained. I got to have something to play with. And I just wasn't getting it. And it was kind of frustrating me, to be honest, because I was just sitting there just like, I really want to like this book. I really want to pay attention to this book. But I just couldn't do it. I kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And I just couldn't do it. So I told JL.
I'm not upset with you with that whatsoever.
Oh, I
know that you and I have very different reading tastes. But I know that even though it is a bit more of a slow burn, later on when you come back to it, you're really going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Like whenever, like, JL pointed this out, that I've been reading a lot of fantasy, and she's like, fantasy can burn you out real fast. So try mixing it up with something. And I was trying to think of, something that I could mix it up with. And at first I thought, well, maybe I'll go back to The Predator and start that. Because I've got the other books -1. I need one more and then I have the full series. But then I was like, I don't want to keep rereading the same shit that I'm reading. So then I thought maybe Gothicana. It's by the same author, should be around the same type thing. But she suggested I go and pull this guy off the shelf. Because this was one of the first books I bought whenever we started doing the pod, and whenever I started asking for recommendations from JL. This was one of the first ones that she mentioned. And
because it was like one of the most popular books on TikTok right around the time of COVID and everything like that.
all I can say is, oh my good God.
Yeah.
I will say this logically and clearly. In real life, I would never have more than one partner. In fantasy, however, I will take as many as I can get. I am very much a fan of
Reverse
harems. Like it I don't know why. It just hits that spot. Like it really just hits that spot. And this is a reverse harem book with, I think it's like 5 guys?
Four, maybe?
Yeah, there's 4. There's Ryder, Garrett, Kenzo, and Diesel. Diesel, I'm not gonna lie.
Diesel. I tried to start it one time before meeting you, and Diesel scared me.
He's a bit aggressive.
He scared me. So I put it back. I put it down when I had it on my Kindle. I was like, I think I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait a little bit.
The only character that I have read that scares me at this point is fucking Arrow from That Sick Love, which I'm still gonna read and check out and stuff like that, just not the audiobook, but because the voice was enough. The voice was enough to give me fucking nightmares for weeks. But I still want to read it and like get the backstory on the character and stuff like that. I will say, like,
honestly, dude, I'll go ahead and tell you now. When it came to that one, it started good. It progressed good, and then it just
dropped.
It not necessarily dropped, but it lost its point. It kind of just rolled, and it's like it lost the point. In my personal opinion, Jesse C. Hall, I don't know if you're watching this or if you ever do watch this. I'm sorry to say that, but you have some really good writing. You really do. But with that one, I lost it and I DNF'd it.
Well, I can tell you right now, this book is, she's a thick one. She is 633 pages.
Did I ever tell you what the longest book I ever read in my entire life has been?
No, what?
1,024 pages.
Which was it?
Gone with the Wind.
Oh, fuck that.
I was in 6th grade.
I can't do that. I would rather read every book of like fucking Tolkien's invention or like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe shit. I cannot deal with like the Civil War stuff around here. There's so much Civil War shit. And now they're teaching
Butler is the reason why I have the affinity for tall, dark, and handsome.
I don't really know. Like I have exceptions to the rule. Like there's Liam and Sean that are my little blonde little pieces of sunlight that are just like The things I would do to those two characters. You have no idea. Um, but ultimately, it's like black hair, broody, like sarcastic. I like characters that are a bit of a dick. I don't know why, but I like it when like I like enemies to
Matching
lovers.
energy.
Yeah, I like the playfulness of like Zaid because he's very much just like I don't fucking give a shit. You throw something at me, I'm gonna throw it right back at you. With like she calls him kitty cat and he calls her little mouse. Like it's that back and forth, that push and pull that like grips you.
That banter and
Yeah.
dynamic.
Yeah. I love that in writing. And sometimes it's like you know that is an aspect that you might get to later in a book, but it's the trudge to get to it. It's like just stop dragging shit out. Like it you don't need 80 pages of fucking like build up to a culmination of realization that oh, we're just going to fight. Like, just start them bickering already. Just like let them bicker the entire time and then finally have the realization. Like, but I pulled Den of Vipers off. I flicked through it to see when the first little spicy bit was, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to any of the spicy bits yet in mine, but I'm looking forward to it because I already know for a fact that it's going to be good, having read the first book in the series beforehand. I've actually read that book twice this year already.
I like the best book that I've read that's like a reverse harem, which I've read I think like 2. But I think the one that I like the best would be Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. Like it's just I can't like I can't even remember the guy's name, but he was like the lead one in the group. Like the things like it's that audio that you hear on TikTok. He's like, I'm gonna give you to the count of 10. And she's just like, I want this. And he's like, 9, 8, 7. And she's just like, I'm not going anywhere. And then whenever he hits 1, it gets like real ominous. And I'm just like, oh God, shit's about to get real. That was like 89 pages of the best fucking book I have read in a long time. It kept me interested. It kept the pacing good. It kept the characters good. And oh my God, the sex scenes fucking beautiful. Perfect. Fucking immaculate. But like, well, I mean, they weren't exactly immaculate. Unholy, yeah. But I'm going to dive into I'm going to dive into Den of Vipers and see what I can come up with out of it because like I gotta find something. Like I desperately want to read something, but it's so difficult for me to find something for some reason that I don't know, feels like I'm in the right place. Like all of these books, I start reading them, and then at some point, it feels like a room that I just have to get up and walk out of. Like I don't want to be in this room anymore. I want to go see a different room.
Mm. It's mood reading.
Yeah,
and that's understandable. I also finished The Viscount Who Loved Me. And I picked up where I left off on what do you call it? Office of a Gentleman, which is book 3, which is Benedict's book.
For those of you who don't know who Benedict, not Benedict. What the fuck? I have a brain. I swear to God, over the last few days, my brain has literally become I'm the human equivalent to fucking autocorrect. Typing, speaking, all of it. It's just like my brain is not all of it's making it to the station. There are a few syllables being left behind.
I can attest to this because I will get the voice messages at work and I have to fight the urge to go into like a stitch fit over some of the things that she'll send me.
I know that there was one voice note that I sent you, and you immediately messaged me back, and you were like, "Woman, I am in church." I was like, "I'm sorry." I think it was when I was sending you screenshots of like a part in my book that I'm writing. I think I was sending you being like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And you're like, "Stop it. Stop
Yeah,
it."
I dubbed it church corn.
Sometimes you need a little something. But like I don't know. Like part of me is like it's either sleep deprivation or like fucking I don't know, my brain's just rotting apparently. But I'm hoping I'm going to start this tonight and hopefully like it'll be the thing that hits the spot.
Yes.
Because
But as Rachel was going in from her little brain bloop, I'm also reading a couple different things right now other than just Leather and Lark, but this is the one that I'm currently reading right now that has me in the throes. I'm currently reading Throne of Glass, Leather and Lark, and Offers of a Gentleman, which is book 3 in the Bridgerton books. Book 3 is about the third Bridgerton sibling. No, second Bridgerton sibling. The first one is about the fourth one, which is the firstborn daughter. Book 2 is about the eldest son. Book 3 is about son number 2. Book 4, which is what season 3 of the Netflix show is currently about, is about the third Bridgerton child, which is Colin. No, this one over here has a thing for the rebel spirited one, which is one Mr. Benedict Bridgerton. Uh-oh. I think we lost her, folks.
I page 335. I want to go get a tattoo now. Not that I haven't wanted to get one for a while, but which that's a church corn. As long as the cob is long and hard, it's all good.
Hey! Have
Hey,
some
nobody
respect
doesn't
for
like nobody likes dry church corn. You need it nice and moist. And still on the cob because you want that ribbed texture.
You know what face I'm making you right now. I may not be
No.
able to show my face right now, but you know what face I am giving you, and you will be seeing this face afterwards.
I'm going to hell in a handbasket, but you know. Maybe Lucifer's hot. Who knows?
I'm gonna have to go to confession after this one.
So fucking square. I am okay, like JL will tell you this. I am the friend that does not know how to behave.
She really does not, folks.
No.
You can't take her anywhere.
No. Like anything that's in here eventually will come out there because there's no filter. Like
None at all.
Nope.
Whatsoever.
No filter, no off switch. So it's when I'm caffeinated, look the fuck out.
Oh, good.
This is my second one today. I'm almost moto.
Oh, God.
I got shit to
In
do.
nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Remember, spectacles, testicles, watch, and wallet.
I hate you.
No, you don't. You love me.
Anyway, so now, ladies, gents, and all those in between, we are now going to segue into the next half of our episode, which is the Lunathion mini adventures. So, if any of you, like I said, have lived under a rock or have not been a part of this podcast for any means necessary of any time whatsoever, or you're just now starting to stream with us, welcome to the crazy train that is A Quarter Smut Spice. We are readers of all things of the Sposs Nitro, fantasy, romance, dark, comedic, romantic, and everything in between. And
We've read some stuff that's a little bit fluffy, but primarily, yeah, there's just a lot of corn.
we also have very, 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 very much squirrel brain going on with us because we will go on numerous side quests. Well, and veer off topic from things for quite long periods of time. So, just to forewarn you, just in case anybody on the replay needs a refresher and everything like that, just kind of figured I'd throw that in there.
There is a transcript underneath, so feel free to utilize that.
Yes, yes. So we are now going to be heading into our mini adventures of Lunathion, which is a mini series created by a TikToker who's also on Instagram. I'm gonna give her a plug right here, Miss Lunathion is It Girl, who is a cosplayer who does a lot of Sarah J. Maas content for the Crescent City books as a beloved cosplayer of Bryce QUINLAN, one of my absolute favorite characters.
I love her version of Bryce. Like, she does an incredible job. Like, and she's so fucking detailed in the portrayal of it that, like, it literally kind of feels like you're just stepping into that world.
Yes, she does a really good job of it. And she recently just started doing mini, like, clips and everything of different things related to Bryce. She's got one that supposedly was, like, a clip for, like, what could potentially be in book 3, but this was also filmed before book 3 was actually released, so it's not necessarily canon to the books.
Is that an ant? What is that? That's an ant.
I don't know. It looks like an ant.
We don't need ants on our corn.
So we're going to watch and react to the first new mini adventure that she has released. Rachel, you ready?
Yup, I'm getting ready to share the screen. Okay, I think that's it. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
I think I have to click it over here. Doink.
Click the button. Pink shoes.
What a dick.
Or it's a coin phrase later on down the road. Alcohol.
Oh, damn. Do you want some help? This also bumped into me. I'm Bryce, by the way. I'm Danica. Well, which room? 2609. Oh, shit. We're roommates. Wolf shifter for roommates. Fuck. You're gonna love it.
Oh. So
Very short, but very good quality.
Yes.
Very good quality. And the vibe is there.
I like as JL loves Bryce, Danica is very much like my spirit animal. Like I love Danica so much. And like it's nice I have my Bryce. Whoops, other way.
Yes.
That way. Yep, she's beside me.
Other way, dude.
I'm
Other way, dude.
dyslexic. See, I'm dyslexic. Everything's like reversed. It drives me crazy when I go to point at things, and I'm like, okay, I give up. You know where you are.
Mhm.
See, I'm fucking autocorrect. Anywho, like,
Squirrel brain.
girl. I think it was done really well. Like, I hope she's going to be doing more. I know there was something on her page on Instagram that was talking about possibly doing like a film or something, which
Yeah, they're filming more miniature episodes and everything like that. So like it's gonna be like mini scripts, mini episodes and whatnot. Last that I had heard. She also does these things on Instagram, which are Hunt's Home Movies, which are like feckin' adorable. And one of the most recent ones they uploaded was Hunt was filming and Bryce picked up a little My Little Pony looking figurine, and it was representing Jelly Jubilee.
oh god.
And I was like, oh.
For those of you who do not know who Jelly Jubilee is, go read the book. It's a very, very important character.
And if any of y'all start going and getting the wrong idea right now, shame on you.
It's not that kind of horse. This is not Pony by Genuine, okay? Really good.
Come and jump on.
Oh, there have been an entire generation of fucking kids born to that fucking song. As many
I know.
Book babies as there have been, that song as well as Hit Me Baby One More Time, I guarantee you have probably caused more births than any other fucking song on the planet.
Probably. You're not wrong there. But I love the fact that they started it up with the pink shoes, because that is just iconic for Bryce. Her and her pink sneakers.
You know what I wish they would start doing? I know there are people who do custom dolls and stuff like that. I don't collect toys, but I would absolutely fucking buy like a Bryce and a Danica doll. Like if somebody did something like a Barbie, I would fucking snatch it up so fast.
Oh, believe me, I would too, because epic AF.
Well, I mean, we okay, so we did mark this as spoilers, so I'm not gonna feel bad about this. When we started reading Crescent City for the first time, JL initially was like way ahead of me. And then I kind of like jammed a shit ton of chapters in one night and emotionally damaged myself doing so. But within the first two chapters,
Three, I think. Because like within the first 5 chapters, you get all this compacted information and world building about where the story takes place, the races, the houses, multiple different characters are all thrown at you at one time. And they were 2 of the first characters that you meet there. And they are best friends, went to college together. They're basically like sisters. They're like extremely close, very tightly bonded. Hell, so tightly bonded that Bryce just absolutely went with the flow of Danica taking her out, getting her drunk off her ass, and getting a back tattoo. If you know, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get your bestie some decorations. Let's be real. If we went out anywhere drunk, you'd be the one dragging me into a tattoo shop. I'd walk out with something I wouldn't even fucking be able to read.
Yep. Because I'm not picking it out. You're picking it out because you're going to be the one that'll be in the slosher, picked out the tattoo. I'm like, you sure? You sure
I would
that's
leg-
the one you
I
want?
would legit be
100%
that hot.
certain?
I would be that Hot Shell Ray fucking song and be like, I woke up with a really strange tattoo. Kind of looks like you, mixed with Zach Galifianakis. That's what I would end
Yep.
up with.
And then I'll be the one there the next morning, and you're wondering, why the hell does my body hurt in this place? Oh, that's because you went and got yourself tattooed.
Well,
I
I
couldn't
have
talk you
one
out of it.
thought that I don't have to worry about because I have a beautiful piece of artwork on my lower back. So there's no way anything's going there. We've already made the bad decision on the hand. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. If you are dating a man and he says, let's go get wedding band tattoos, tell that motherfucker to go away. Like, red flag immediately. Because it's one of two things. Either he wants to mark you for future use, or he's just fucking with you. Don't fucking do this. Learn from my mistakes. Because they were mistakes. But, like, I do want more tattoos. I've got one on my back I need to change. But within the first, like, 5 chapters, like JL says, you get introduced to a lot of characters. 2 characters that I got introduced to that I fell in love with was Connor Holstrom and Danica. I love Danica on like a fucking cellular basis. The woman is
she does.
incredible. Like, I want her jacket. I have been looking for leather jackets that has the Pack of Devils logo on the back. One of these days I will find one that is good enough and I will buy it. But I mean, I tried to attempt to dye my hair the same way. It just didn't work out. But I mean, not going to say I wouldn't try again later, but I love everything about her. Like, she's loyal. She's brutally fucking honest. Like, there is no fluff. Like, she will fucking tell it like it is every single time. So if you don't want to fucking know, don't fucking ask her. But she's also really good friends with Bryce, and she knows that sometimes when she gets down or gets depressed or something, she needs somebody to like kick her in the ass and yank her back up and, you know, get her laughing, get her smiling.
That's definitely Bryce there for you.
Like, it's a beautiful friendship. Unfortunately, we only get a little bit of it because she fucking kills her.
Huh? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh. I was about to say, hang on, Bryce didn't do that.
No, the writer Sarah J. Maas killed my favorite 2 characters within the first 5 chapters. She killed Danica and she killed Connor. And I immediately called JL and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Are you serious? They're dead? Like, dead. Like, not coming back, dead. And you're just like, oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, Danica does come back. Like, we've marked this spoilers. Well, she does, sort of.
No, not necessarily just that, but just, well.
Oh, Lord, there's going to be... If she comes back in book 3 or 2, I'm going to lose my shit.
Well.
God damn it. I gotta finish.
Not necessarily, like, physically back. I don't like back, but, like, she makes appearances.
The thing that hit me within the first few chapters, like, when Danica died, was that they would always, like Danica would always say, I love you. And Bryce would be hesitant to say it back because she doesn't like saying it. But after that, like, all the time, Bryce is saying it, whether it's, you know, her mom, her dad, Rune, it doesn't matter. Like, she makes sure to say it. But
Rune.
But like, the whole thing about Danica is, like, you really see somebody who was in the prime of their life, trying to do the best that they could with what they had to work with and trying to do the right thing. And they literally got bit in the ass for it. And
Oh,
you see,
just you wait, girlfriend. You don't even know the half. You don't even know the half
oh God,
of the shit that she was doing that Bryce had no idea about. You
They're gonna
don't
make
even
me cry,
know
aren't
yet, chick.
the other half of those books is just going to leave me in ruins, aren't it? Aren't it? Isn't it?
Not necessarily, but you're gonna see Danica in a whole nother way. Cause you saw what we learned about her in book 1.
Yeah.
Where we found out about her and the synth and everything.
Which
And she's got some connects. And there was some things that she was researching. There's a whole ass love interest that we learned about.
Which I'm just kind of like, I know about the
Girl.
love interest, and I'm just like, meh.
I'm
I'm sure it's gonna
don't you
change.
go. Don't
sure
you go dissing on him now, girl.
I'm not
Believe
dissing on
me.
him. He's just a fucking hellhound.
He's not just a fucking hellhound.
Not just a fucking hellhound, but he is a hellhound.
He's a hellhound and a freaking angel. He has wings.
Okay, so he's a Cerberus with wings. I'm sorry, the whole time, like, we're talking about this character, knowing what little I know about this character, the thing that's revolving around in my head is that scene from Supernatural where Crowley walks out and there are hellhounds running at him, and he goes, "Don't worry, boys. Mine's bigger." That's the only thing revolving around in my head at the moment with the word hellhound.
Dude, you don't even freaking know. The way that they portrayed him in the audiobook, do you remember the movie What a Girl Wants?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Ian?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the voice of Ian?
Whoa, yes.
Yeah, they give him that kind of voice in the audiobook.
I need to start listening to more audiobooks.
Yeah, and it's all done by one person, at least in the original audiobooks. They've started doing the graphic audios for them, where it's going to be multi-actor based now, but I like the OG ones because that's how I started. That's how I'm finishing them once book 4 comes out finally. Because, yeah. They can't.
All I'm going to say is we know that there's another ACOTAR book on its way, and she's already stated that it will be Asriel's book. And all I'm going to say is if that becomes an Elriel, whatever it's called, if it's Elaine and Asriel, I will fucking riot. No, you do not do that to my girl Gwen. No. Bad.
But I will say, all in all, with that clip and what Lunathion's It Girl is doing, she is doing a damn good job.
Yes. I mean, the shots were clean too. Like that's something that, like, the cinematography of doing very short clips is really, really difficult to do because you've got such a short, compact moment that you have to collect and make sure that it is actually relevant to the scene, but then also it matches the vibe of the character. So it's actually really interesting that she was able to show the key points, but then also, expand upon what we know of the characters and, their connection.
Like, I would really love, absolutely freaking adore seeing them at a Sunball game. Watching Ethan and all them, like, playing and whatnot. That would be freaking epic. My thing about Ethan, I'm just going on a tangent right now about this. Ethan is basically the Matt Donovan of Crescent City.
That's not helpful. Matt Donovan was a character that I feel was done kind of dirty. Like, he was literally the fall guy for fucking everything. All the poor man wanted to do was have a little bit of fucking peace and find somebody who loved him. That's it. That's all he fucking wanted. And throughout the entire series, like, dude, bro could just not win no matter what he did.
Oh, honey, let me just tell you, freaking Ethan's just, oh God, the number of things that boy has done.
The scene in Crescent City where, like, Ethan and the wolves show up for Bryce, and then there's like this moment where, like, the shelter is closing and Bryce realizes that, you know, they're not going to make it, but she knows she has to get Ethan inside. She literally picks him up and slings him into the thing, and then you just hear him beating on the door, being like, Bryce! Like, it, you know, he's pissed that she did that. But I mean, it's that was another moment that made me fucking cry, because I was like, she was taking care of Connor's little brother. Like, that was beautiful. But like, JL knows there are 2 scenes in the first Crescent City book that fucking wrecked me. Well, 3, counting Danica's death. But 2 of them, you know, the 2 that I'm talking about, because we both stopped at the same one.
Yeah. Oh, you know, there was actually a clip of Lunathion It Girl that she did. I think it's on Instagram and I think it's on TikTok too. She didn't use the 80s vacuum for it. She used a Swiffer vacuum.
I love that. But we both thought, they have all of this technology, they have all of this magic and stuff, but you mean to tell me they're using like a 1980s fucking bagged fucking vacuum cleaner? What happened to the fucking Roomba? Why didn't she just have like a little remote go and have the Roomba come and suck up Micah? That would have been fucking beautiful. It would have taken forever.
Yeah, and then all the feathers.
So many. You know, Syrinx is sitting there going, just like playing with it. Like, Jasima's probably going to be pulling feathers out of like everywhere for forever, being like, oh, look, another piece of mica. But it's like, so Syrinx being in mortal peril was one, because I demanded to make sure that that character was alive and well before I would continue reading. And the other one,
that's when you got ahead of me.
Yeah. And then whenever she hit that point, I was like, stop. Just stop. Give yourself a break.
I didn't listen.
No, she didn't. And she called me back crying. I was like, I told you to fucking stop.
You know my ass. I can't do. If I get told not to do something, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Like, those last few chapters, they fucking hit like a sledgehammer. Like, you've got the Lahaba moment where it's, you know, the whole, like, she's free and she's like, my friends are with me and I'm not afraid. My friends are with me and I'm not afraid. Like,
oh God, Shahar with her head getting like, that was fucking badass.
Shahar.
Remember the one who was holding Hunt, you know, hostage and everything, and then she ends up going and ripping her head off?
I thought Shahar was the one that he was in love with.
No, that was Sandriel.
She was called Sandriel is the one that he blew the head off of. I'm looking.
I'm looking too, because I can't. I'm like, I swear it was.
Status deceased. Occupation governor. Yeah, Shahar was her twin sister. So it was Sandriel. Sandriel was the one that, Hunt Athalar's former master.
Well, shit.
Sandriel is coming to Lunathion on the Ashteri's order for the summit. Micah has been told to host her as his guest for a month. She's bringing Pollux Antonius with her.
Pollux. Ugh.
The twat with walls. But
Yeah.
it
I
like
hate everything about that one. Not okay. I'm not supposed to say I hate, but this is a book character. They're fictional. I'm allowed to say it. I hate that character with a burning passion, especially when he does the fucking Lydia.
I greatly dislike fucking like there are moments where I'm okay. You know, I have a complicated relationship with Bryce. There are moments where, like, I'm so behind her and it's like girl power and I'm fucking on board. And then there are moments where I look at her and I'm just like, girl, you need to get your ass some better friends. Because the moment where fucking, what the hell is that fawn's name?
Juniper?
Yeah. That fucking bitch hauls off and fucking hits her in the face after she blocks her from being crushed. I would have broken a horn off and shoved it in her ballerina ass. Like, bitch, you did not just fucking hit me. I will get off of this floor and beat you with the fucking ceiling. Like,
Well, she had some repercussions that came out of it in book 2 and her actions and whatnot. And then Bryce tried to fix it. And it just kind of ended up making things a little worse for wear. But it not necessarily worse, but it made her feel worse with the situation that was at hand and then kind of fucked with their friendship. And it got things all kinds of overcomplicated. One of the things that Sarah J. Maas does, especially with these books, is that she has so much shit go down at the end of the books.
yeah, it's like the entire, like, right off the bat, you get an info dump. After the info dump is over, you get actual plot line, but it's almost kind of like backstory, backflash type, like, plot lines. And then when you
Not
get to the
complete,
real,
but
like, it takes a while to get to the meat and potatoes of a fucking book. That's why they're so thick. But, like, okay, so
the thickness is worth it.
thickness is always worth it. The thicker the better. It makes it hard to fit on the shelf, but you'll eventually find a slot it fits. Number 3.
You freaking banana candle.
Sorry. JL knows this about me, and I'm sure I've made enough of an idiot out of myself on TikTok. Like, I am one of those weird chicks. I have like the highest fucking sex drive on the fucking planet. There is not a man on this planet that could throw down and keep me satisfied. Like, I would be like, that would be a bet. It'd be like, bet, motherfucker. But that's why I get a little bit feisty. But there are 3 key moments, okay, in the first Crescent City book, right? So there's the Lahaba one. There's Hunt showing up for Bryce. There's the drop. Those are the 3 key things that I think exist in that book. The Lahaba moment is like Syrinx is fear. Lahaba is heart. It fucking hits hard.
Yeah.
The Hunt moment when he shows up and protects her and the fallout from him protecting her, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Hunt Athalar fan, but that fucking hurt. I was just like, oh god, not another one, not a fucking another one, god damn it, let her fucking have somebody. She's lost everything, let her have something. And then when the scene happens, if you've seen the thumbnail, that's the page from the book, chapter 92. Like, she is near a gate, and it's the gate where Danica did like a drop of her blood so it would light up and stuff, and you could hear people across the city. But Bryce never would touch it. She ran straight to it, threw her hand on it because she heard Danica talking to her through the gate saying, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. I fucking cried so hard because it like I don't recommend books that that often, I would recommend reading Crescent City 1 for those moments alone. Like, those moments take a long fucking time to get to, but they are so meaningful and so purposeful and so memorable that you're not sorry that you took all that time. I will say, I would really appreciate it if Sarah J. Maas would stop fucking edging us. Stop that shit. Stop it.
Oh, that's just in book 1. You haven't even gotten through book 2 or book 3 yet.
Well, I'm just saying, book 1, you were the one that coined the phrase edging 101.
Okay, look, that's because it was, and then we finally got all the goods and everything in book 2, and then book 3, we got the good stuff in there too.
All I'm saying is, it was like, even just the kissing, when fucking Sabine showed up and interrupted them kissing on the roof, I was like, kill that bitch right now. Like, you were so fucking close. Just fucking kill her. Lightning. Like, I would have been like, bitch. Fur everywhere. Which, oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. That would be a 4th moment where all of that's happening in the other world between Bryce and Danica, and her power is starting to show and register as they're watching it. And her dad, of course, being the fucking dick that he is just like, that's not possible. And of course, like, Danica's mom's like, through love, all is possible. That fucking hits so hard. And then the elders, the elder saying, I only see a wolf, when she's out there fighting, I was just like, ow. Ow, right in the field.
The prime.
Yeah, like, oh, that hurt so bad. Like, there are moments, like, it's literally like the last 4th of that book is so crushing, but in the best way. But it hurts. But still, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's gonna go into Crescent City 1 knowing it's gonna be a slog. You're gonna start reading it. At some point, you're gonna want to quit. Don't quit. Because it's worth getting to that point. All of the characters and stuff are worth it. But yeah, I can't wait to see what else she comes up with. Whenever she starts to make more posts, we'll do more kind of reactions to them and kind of, discuss those as well. That sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty, Vance. Is there anything else we need to eat? Jail, please take over.
On that note, friends, courtiers, jesters, you all know who you are here. Thank you so much for participating in this lovely adventure in the Court of Blood and Spice. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to our banter and unhinged moments that has been happening in our books and craziness that we've been reading, and enjoying that little refreshing bit of enjoyment from fellow artists that are also on TikTok and everything like that as well. We probably, not this coming week, but I think we're gonna have another show coming up here in about 2 weeks. So, not sure what the topic's gonna be on that one yet, but keep an eye out on the pod page. We have, we're on Instagram, we are on TikTok, we are here. And yeah, the best place to keep in touch is going to be reaching out via either the Instagram or the TikTok page. Just keep your eyes and ears and all that open up so you can be in the know of when we're going to be on again next. Until next time, folks. Peace.
Make sure you sub and subscribe and share, please.